Hi, this is Bill from MessickStove and MessickStove.com, and I'm in an area here, the house. It's moving some things around here, so it might sound like I'm got a little echo going on, but I'm in the basement, and this is what I refer to if you're talking to me on the phone, okay, or even in any of my documents that you see, and as a cold air box return, okay, or cold air drop. I call them cold air drops, drop return, cold air drop box, or whatever you want to call them. It all leads to the same thing. People are puzzled by what I'm talking about, and some of them get the concept, and some of them quite don't understand. So the easiest way to do this is basically start out with a video, and I'm going to do some drawings later that will be attached to the website you can get information from. But how it works is this is the opposite end of the house in the basement, okay, where I'm from the stove. The stove's at the far end, okay, the opposite end of where I'm at, okay. And this box should be closer to the corner, okay. If you look up here, it should be closer to that corner, and like up in there where the flashlight is, okay. The reason it's not closer in the corner of the house there is because we have there's a cabinet in the corner there, so I moved it out. And all it is you could do metal, you can do a box, you can use real solid wood, use any other kind of plywood, or whatever you want to do. The box here is just made out of some 1/4 inch plywood, old paneling that I had laying around here. So this is going to be all redone eventually here anyway, but it's for now it's serving its purpose. Now if you can look in there, see where my flashlight is, see that little cobweb, dust web, or whatever you want to call it, okay? You can see it moving, okay? That's not from me talking. That's not from me waving it or blowing it. There's no fans down here, okay? There's no fans upstairs blowing through this hole. That's just natural air moving and circulating through this cold air drop box, okay? That's what I keep trying to explain all the time. So this video hopefully will take a lot of this explanation out, and then, like I said, some documents later with some schematics and drawings I'm going to do later for my website. But now I want to show you, doesn't matter what size you're, excuse me here, I'm going to get my tape measure out. From this ceiling, the ceiling itself, now the ceiling, the highest point of my ceiling, or the lowest point of my ceiling is my ceiling joist. So if you look at this, it's roughly 14 inches below, okay, 14 inches below the ceiling, okay. Now I can bring this drop box all the way down to the floor, okay, if I want it. And well, that floor looks a little rough there, but that's what the purpose of this stuff being moved out of the room here is that I'm going to be dealing with that issue on the wall there. And it's mostly, it's not black mold at this point. It's been treated, but it just doesn't look too pretty. So it's not a health issue at this point. It's just not too pretty looking, and which we'll be getting taken care of here probably shortly. So anyway, before I decided to do anything else, I thought I'd go over this drop box. Now the drop box here, now we're going to look up, okay, is just a 4x10 register, okay. That's all you're going to cut, a hole inside your floor, okay. But make sure you get the specs of the the grate you're putting in. Now it's just a little plastic grate, and I can feel the air moving right through here. You can see the dust webs or cobwebs, whatever you want to call them, moving from the air. And even the one up there on the white grill you can see moving. Now I have a shut-off. Mine actually opens and shuts. So in the winter time, as it's now, I'll actually open it up to allow the cold air to drop through this, okay? This will help give it circulation through the house. And in the summertime I close that off to keep my air conditioner cold air from falling back into the basement. It gets sucked through the heating system like I want to. That's just a couple of screws screwing it in. Normally this box was built to go the other direction of the floor joist, okay, to fit between it. Like I said, you can make these really pretty. I put these in for people in their house as well, and some of them are painted, some are decorated. You can really do some nice trim work around them, and you can just use your imagination and come to what I'm talking about. But the main thing of this is what circulates the air through the house. And the biggest concept of this is that the cold air, the heat is rising up, radiating through my floor, okay, and there's a stairwell midway through the house that allows heat to go up the stairwell, because the cold air is not coming down the stairwell, the heat's already on the ceiling there, going up through the floor, so the cold air can't fall. So this gives a place for the cold air to fall and drop, and usually put these on the opposite end of the house, on the outside corners of where your stove is. Now if your stove's in the middle of the house, you would have these cold air drop boxes on each end of the house, okay, in each corner. In other words, you would have, if the stove's in the middle, you have 2 on each end and another 2 on the other end of the house. Okay, so I only need it, I have 2 in each room, okay, and I got 1 here, there's 1 over to the right of us, and then there's a divider and there's another 2 there, but you only really need 1 in each corner. But I just have 2 to help if we move something upstairs, and if I happen to block that 1 off, then we definitely still got airflow. But you want these on the outside corners of the coldest end of the house. That's where your cold air is being pushed to. So the heat goes upstairs, gets pushed in the rooms, and now the cold air drops through the box. Now once the cold air drops through the box, at some point or another, the cold air is going to go back to the wood stove and keep getting reheating. So where I'm standing at now is about 78 degrees, where I'm standing at now, in the basement, underneath the cold air box return. Okay, I can put my hand up here, and I don't feel cold air, and I shouldn't feel cold air, okay? It's a cold air box return, but why don't you feel cold air? Because all my air is heated. So I got warm air coming down through my box, but it's allowing the colder air to circulate. So it creates a nice circulation, so my whole house is balanced. Upstairs, 78 degrees at both ends of the house, and then downstairs where I'm at right now is 78 degrees. So if the air on the ceiling is 80, and midway up the wall is 70, 78, and the cold air is 76 on the floor, then I got 76 degree cold air falling down here, and coming back down to the floor, and going back to the stove and being reheated. But I'm not cold in the basement. It's really nice down here as well. So this is what I talk about to people when I say, look, you want to use this wood stove to heat your whole house, the best place for it is in the basement. If you don't have a basement, or you don't want to heat your basement, and then you want to put it on the main floor, then this is also the same concept will work for a 2-story house. In other words, instead of having a stove in the basement, you had it in the main floor, then you would have these cold air returns drop from your 2nd floor back to your 1st floor where your stove is, to get the air to circulate. You'll know if you have a circulation problem, because you'll walk into a room and it'll be basically cold. All the heat pushed the cold air into that particular room, and that room the cold air can't come out, and then the heat can't really go in, and you'll walk in, you'll get goosebumps and chills, and if you walk barefoot in the room, you'll swear that somebody left the window open a crack, and there's cold air, because the cold air is circulating in that particular room. So this is what a cold air drop box is. This is what a cold air return is. It's not connected to the ductwork, okay? I'm going to show you there's my ductwork. It's not connected to my existing ductwork for my forced air heating and / air conditioning system, which I don't use the heating system in the winter at all. So this is separate. This is just to let the air flow. If you don't like the looks of this, that's fine. You don't have to have it. The reason my box is so big is because I want to fit it between the floor joists, give me something to screw to, and allow me to get my hands up in there. But it's like I said, the grate's only a 4x10 grate, so you can actually make a 4x10 box if you want, make a smaller, narrower box, okay, and bring it all the way to the floor. They used to put them inside the walls years ago in the older houses, okay? And you never seen them, or you see a bump out on the side of a wall in the old farmhouses or old historical houses that we call around here now historical. They would have actually a bump on the wall, and the bump on the wall would be that box that they build to return the cold air to the basement. A lot of houses would have big floor grates, in like a 14 by 20 floor grate or bigger, to allow the heat to come up into the house. Okay, I don't need that in my case because I'm using my stairwell to bring the heat up, and also it's radiating through the floor in my bedroom. Before I put this cold air drop box in, okay, my living room above us was 72 degrees. Is the hottest I could get it is 72 degrees. The bedroom at the other end of the house, on the main floor, okay, where the stove is sitting underneath of it, was 85 degrees. Now, you know as well as I do, it's a little rough to try to sleep in 85 degree weather. Okay, or excuse me, 85 degree weather period, or weather 85 degree temperature in a bedroom, and then walk down the hall and freeze at 72. That's a big difference in temperature. So once the cold air boxes are put in, I installed the boxes and you know, the 4 grates for the returns here, then the bedroom is 78 and my living room is 70. It's the same temperature. Now, if you want 72 and 72, that's up to you, but I like to be warm. I work outside, I deal with the elements, and I want to come into my house, I want to be comfortable. And I don't believe in wearing sweatshirts and knit hats and sweatpants and all bundled up with socks and everything else when I'm in the house. When I'm in the house, I want to be comfortable, you know, put a pair of shorts on and like a t-shirt or something and relax, you know, and I don't have to put socks on, you know, I can run around barefoot and even on the concrete I can run around barefooted down here. So it's not that bad. It's just, it's what you like, okay? It's what you want your house temperature to be at and what you feel comfortable at. That's not my choice. It's not, I'm not trying to get your house to 78 degrees. If you want 78 degrees, then we'll work on getting that to 78 degrees. But that's not my goal, is to make you think like me and make you do what I'm doing. But it's just, I want to educate you in what I do and the temperatures I'm able to keep my house at and how I get that temperature and how I get the air to circulate. So I know the videos get kind of long. I just like to try to get as much information in it as possible relating to this, because this is, you know, every video I'm doing is for a cause and for a purpose, and there's a lot of things I end up sometimes missing out on or not telling people, and I'll try to think of it later, and I just want to be able to do another video on it. So you might have some more videos coming regarding this drop boxes. If this was a drop ceiling down here, you would do that drop box, and your drop ceiling's like another 4 inches down past the floor joist. You can actually channel that, put a channel onto that, okay, drop box, okay, make it 4 inches down past where it's at now, and put a channel on it, make another box, and channel it out to the end of your drop ceiling, and then you'll probably have a wall there, apparently, most likely, and then channel that box through that 2x4 wall and allow it to come out the bottom. So you can still use this even when it had drop ceilings in here. If you just want to punch a hole right through the drop ceiling and drop it into the room, that's fine. But if you enclose this room and you don't want the cold air to fall into an enclosed room and not have a way to get out, then you'll have to put cold air vents on the floor or the bottom of the wall to allow that air to get out of this room. And then you also would need vents at the top to allow the heat to get back into the room. So you still want heat to come in here and circulate, but you want the cold air from upstairs also to escape this room. If not, the room will end up holding cold air. So remember, if you enclose a room that you're dropping this into, you're stopping the circulation. So you have to have complete airflow. This is a natural circulation, no fans, no exhaust. My stove has no fan on it. I have no fans or exhaust fans pushing air anywhere through the house to move air, and I have no fans to suck or pull down through this. Just since we're talking about that, I do offer a couple of units called the Genies. They are designed to fit into the ductwork like this, or this little panel, and they are battery operated. I think one of them's power operated, and I think one is a battery backup operated, I do believe. And if you have to, and you want the power to move the air, that does have an option of moving air, and that would have a fan on it that you can actually pull that out, that little register in there now, pull that out, set the other one in there, the Genie one, and you can tell it to push air up or pull air down. In this case here, you would want to pull air down. So I do offer those. They can be put in walls, ceilings, on the floors, at the top of the ceiling, depending on if you're pushing or pulling air, pushing hot air or pulling hot air, or if you're trying to push cold air or pull cold air. into a room or out of a room, depending on how it sets up. So it's very basic. This is stuff they've been doing for years. So don't complicate it. Don't try to make it complicated. It's very simple. And the easiest way to remember that your air is circulating is that you should not feel cold air coming through this box. Okay, once this thing is running for multiple days, this air here should be warm air. Okay, not cold. If someone tells you if you're feeling cold air come through it after 4 or 5 days of running your stove, okay, then you got a circulation problem. The cold air is working, yes, the cold air is coming down, but why isn't the air getting heated? Okay, is your stove not big enough, or are you not properly burning dry season wood, or is there some kind of way that's stopping the heat from going upstairs? So there's a lot of different things in play, but I just want to talk about the actual box itself. So this should help you out a little bit and have a little understanding what it looks like. And just for purposes here, I actually built this one, roughly a 10-inch. Well, it's not a little bigger than 10, but it's like 10.5 by 14 and a quarter. And the whole total height, excuse me, it's 14 inches past the ceiling, but the total height is about 22 inches. So, and 14 inches past the ceiling. You can take these all the way to the floor, but just to give you an idea, like I said, this is Bill from MessickStove, and on YouTube and MessickStove.com. And I do apologize for being long-winded, but like I said, the more information the better, to help you out. Thank you.